Good evening, Boom Beach. You're watching Snuggles Plays and I'm your host, the one, the only, yes, it's your favourite Boom Beach girl. It's Snuggles. Hello everybody. Hello to all my boomers out there. I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic, super duper awesome day wherever you are in the world. Guys, we have got lots of new exciting news to talk about now. I appreciate I'm a little bit late bringing this to you. I'm certainly not the first one, but I was busy on Friday. I had a job interview, and then over the weekend, it was Mother's Day weekend here for me in England because it was Mother's Day on Sunday. So the weekend became Mother's Day weekend. So I was busy with my family. I didn't have a chance to even log into the game till yesterday. I tried to do a video yesterday, but it was too long. I wasn't happy for it, and I just ended up not uploading it. I've had another job interview today, and so here we are. So I apologise for the lateness of this news, guys. I know everybody else has already covered this, but you know, what the hell, it doesn't matter. It's still exciting. It's still super duper awesome. As you all know, we have been given a date for Warships. Warships, guys, is coming. It's coming on the 10th of April. That's 8 days away. Today is the 2nd of April, so that's 8 days away. Warships is going to be here in 8 days, guys. 8 days. That's a week, just over a week. How unbelievably exciting is that? Now, you've probably already looked in your boombox and seen everything that's in here, but in case you haven't, there's some relatively new bits of information in here that we're going to go over. Just very recently, Supercell has released these two things here. We've got a blog and a YouTube video giving us a little bit more info on Warships, how it's all actually going to work. Part 1, battling warships, nuts and bolts. So let's have a quick read through this together. I apologise if my Wi-Fi seems to take forever loading these things. I don't know why. I am connected. So yes, but while we're waiting, guys, let's just hype up the excitement some more. Warships is going to be here in 8 days. 8 days, guys. That's just, oh, stupid thing. 8 days. That's just incredibly exciting. I'm really super duper awesome excited about that. I hope you are too. It's the biggest thing that's really ever come to Boom Beach, or at least for a long time. It's like Boom Beach Part 2, and I think it's going to be, well, as we know, it is a whole brand new way of playing the game. Real-time PvP, just, you know, absolutely incredible. So I do apologise about this, guys. I don't know why it's taking so long. Don't really want to be keeping you waiting. I have no idea why my Wi-Fi is being so bad. It's never usually like this. I mean, I've done things from where I am in the house before, and it is showing I am connected to the Wi-Fi. So I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, let's try it. Right, here we go. Okay. Part 1, battling. Come on. I'm clicking on it and now nothing's happening. I tell you what, guys, let's watch the video if we can, if it will let us do that. Let's watch the video. Oh, goodness me. Why is it being so just... It's never like this. Okay, let's watch the video. Here we go. Wow, there we go, guys. There we go. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so there's the video. That looks pretty sweet to me. We'll try and this the blog Warship Nuts and Bolts. What is it doing? I do apologise, guys. As I say, I have no idea why it's being like this. I am connected to the Wi-Fi. I don't know why it's being so pernickety. We'll move on to do Dr. T if this isn't going to work out. In fact, let's just move on to Dr. T right now. At least I've been able to show you the video, right? So anyway, that was a video, and that all looks pretty sweet to me. The Warships Nuts and Bolts blog, that was essentially it actually just shows you the different screens that you're going to be able to see, the different warship screens, how you actually play, what the screen's going to look like, what each different screen is going to look like, what all the different buttons and icons and everything mean. It did mention that those new resource icons that we thought were anchors, they're called upgrade tokens and unlock tokens and upgrade tokens, I think it was, without being able to get in and see the blaster thing. So they're the tokens that you need to unlock defences and troops, etc. in the tech tree, and then you need the upgrade tokens to then upgrade those things in the tech tree. What else did it show? Oh, it showed you, you press it shows you how the warship will look like. Let's just see if it will. I do apologise for this, guys. I don't want to make these videos too long for you, but I really don't know why it's being so annoying. It shows you what your warship looks like when it's covered in defences. There's a button there for if you want to completely wipe the slate clean and start again with the layout of your warship. It looks like a little storage box, and essentially from what I gather, you just press that and everything, all the defences just disappear. And you can just, start laying them out again in a different way, how you'd like. It shows you the defense bar. There's like a sort of a scrolly bar across the bottom with all the different defenses. You just drag them and drop them onto onto the warship. It shows you the troop loadout bar. It shows you how many maximum troops you can have and how many of that maximum are currently loading, or how many you've got, or something like that. I'm sure you've all seen it before, guys. This is not playing ball, is it really? But in a nutshell, that's what that blog just went through, the different screens that we're going to be able to see of warships, what they mean, what all the different buttons and icons mean, what happens when you press battle, and all sorts of things. I think it did say that the result, the end result, is based on who's destroyed the most engine rooms. If that's a tie, it will be then based on who's done the more percentage of damage, who's done the most damage overall. And if that's tied, it will then be based on who's done that amount of damage the quickest, the fastest. So there can never be a tie situation where you don't get one overall winner. There will always be a winner. I'm not going to waste any more time with that, guys, because you're going to get bored, and I'm already bored. Let's jump in to doing Dr. T here. We've got Dr. T Volcano. For this Dr. T, I thought I'd go back to what I like to call the bread and butter troop of Boom Beach, especially for all those new players that I'm sure are going to flood into the game upon the release of Warships and afterwards. Is the old Heavy Zooka, also known as Hookas. They're one of the first troops that you have when you start the game. And I just wanted to go back to basics, really, and see if we can do Dr. T with the old Heavy Zooka. You will notice I have added one boat of medics and one boat of cryos, because they do help. The medics will help. With the healing. in case your Zookas happen to come into the blind spot of a mortar, or probably more like a rocket launcher, in case they get pipped by any other kind of splash damage, the medics will be there on hand to do their best to heal them up, so you hopefully will not lose very many Zookas. The cryos, of course, they do their job very well, slowing those defences down by half, slowing the rate of their fire down by half, so all those defences are only shooting at your troops at half the speed as they would do normally, which, you know, in turn saves your troops, or allow your troops to kill that defence before it has a chance to kill any of your troops. So I will just try and explain some of the basics of how we use Heavy Zooka for those new players. You basically, first of all, want to get rid of the splash damage, and when I say splash damage, I'm really mainly talking about rocket launchers. Rocket launchers have a blind spot, so when your heavies walk, because obviously heavies have a shorter range of fire than Zookas, so when your heavies walk forward into that blind spot of the rocket, the rocket will change target and will look to target your Zookas instead, which they can see because your Zookas will not be in the blind spot. So you have to watch out for those guys. Also mortars also have a blind spot, and exactly the same thing when your heavies walk forward to attack the mortar. They will walk forward into that mortar's blind spot, and your Zookas will be vulnerable to getting smashed in the face by those mortars. And of course mortars do splash damage, so if your Zookas do get hit by a mortar, you won't just lose one or two, you're more likely to lose a whole group of 5 or more. Well, I don't know, there's no exact number, you never know, but they do splash damage, so you will lose a chunk of your Zookas to a mortar rather than just the odd one or two. And guys, I'm sorry about this, I really am. I don't know what is going on. I've never had a problem with my Wi-Fi. I am connected to the Wi-Fi, and I've never had a problem sitting where I am in my house, or the house, just playing games, doing things on the internet. Never had a problem with this before. I don't know why it's being so pernickety. I can only apologise and ask that you please bear with me. Right, moving right along, guys. So that's basically the basics. You want to just look out for any splash damage. So start by eradicating those rockets mainly. You can also, on these lower levels, you can also, I'm going to ignore those 2 rockets there because they're too far away. They won't hit my Zookas. Also, guys, don't forget we have got the cheap artillery at the moment. So be sure and use that. Then when it comes to landing, you want to land your heavies first, and then your Zookas, wait like a couple of seconds and then land your Zookas and everyone else immediately after that, so that if there are any splash damages on the beach, your heavies will, be targeted and not your Zookas, which is exactly what you want. So, yeah, there we go. Other than that, there's no real, trick to it. You just let them walk through the base, watching and managing, keeping, obviously make use of your shocks. As you're going along, you can shock defences as you're going along. And also use critters if you've got them. Just a minute, guys. Hey guys, sorry I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had a little disturbance there, but I'm back. So let's just carry on. We're on Dr. T stage 4. So yes, where was I? Yes, splash damage, and then make use of your shocks. You can shock defenses as you're walking through as well. Don't forget that ultimately the only purpose of your heavies is to protect your Zookas, because it's the Zookas that do damage. The heavies are the meat shield. You know, they can take a lot of firepower thrown at them. So that's why I say do the get rid of the rockets first, and then focus on other defences, because your heavies, as you will see, your heavies can take a lot of firepower. They can take boom cannon shots to the face, several boom cannon shots to the face before they die, because they have a lot of health. You know, so it's just a case of monitoring them. If you do see your heavies getting in the red, you can throw med kits on them, you know, and obviously just shock the single shot defenses that are ganning up on them if they're getting a bit too beat up. And that's basically what there is to Heavy Zooka, really. Yeah. So I hope those new players that come into the game find this guide handy. Let's see here. There is another way of using Heavy Zooka, and that is to use a smoky Heavy Zooka. That's where you smoke them in and then release them, usually with brick and battle orders. Just a minute, guys. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Another interruption. It is difficult when you're living with people who don't share the same views about games in general as you do, and so they interrupt, and you have to hide these sorts of things from them and try and do it when they're hopefully not going to be interrupting you. Unfortunately, I have had 2 interruptions already. Anyway, I'm going to try and get through the rest of this as quickly as possible, guys. So what was I saying? Yes, Dr. T stage 5. So you want to focus on the splash here. Splash first. Now, shock launchers, well, they can sometimes be a pest. Just as long as you've got your heavies out in front, the shock launcher will target your heavies and not they will target your heavies and not your Zookas. That, of course, is providing that you do still have heavies left, but you should do. So there we go. So generally I would say don't worry about shock launchers. Right, we're going to shock that mortar just in case, because the heavies have moved forward into its blind spot. Now you see, this is exactly what I mean, guys. You see that shock launcher there? You see how it's hitting the heavies and not my Zookas behind? That's exactly what I mean. So 9 times out of 10 you can ignore shock launchers. I just took that one out over there because, well, just why not? I had the GBE. But it's mainly rocket launchers you want to get rid of, so that your Zookas don't get blasted when the heavies walk into the blind spot of the rocket launchers, and mortars, of course. So I hope this is helping all you new players that will inevitably be coming into the game and hopefully be watching this video. If you're currently watching the video now and you're new to this channel, please leave a like, smash that like button, and subscribe if you like what you see and you want to see more of it. Let's see. Okay, let's get into this. The other thing, guys, is with rocket launchers, you don't always necessarily have to get rid of every single one. It depends which direction you're coming from. If you're coming from a direction whereby rockets on the other side of the core are going to hit your heavies and not your Zookas, and there's enough space in between the rocket, your heavies, and your Zookas that there's no way the rockets will be able to hit your Zookas, then you can leave those rockets alone because you know they're only going to be hitting your heavies. So, bearing that in mind, we're going to come at this from the left-hand side. Which, as you can see on the right-hand side, we've got 5 rocket launchers and 2 shock launchers. On the left-hand side, we've got 3 rocket launchers and 1 shock launcher. So I'm just simply going to come in on the left here and get rid of these 3 rockets here. That should mean that my Zookas will be free from rocket fire hit. These other rockets, those 3 are completely out of range anyway, but these 2 should only be hitting my heavies, and the same with the shock launchers there. So let's I will just shock those just in case. There we go. And you don't need to worry about your Zookas getting fried. About your heavies getting fried, because as I said, they do have a lot of health. When you're reflaring, it is quite a good idea to just throw a smoke on the tail, on the back end of your troops as they're moving away. That's always quite a good idea. Simply because, and maybe throw some distraction critters so that your Zookas and medics don't get targeted as they're walking away. You always have to be mindful of where you're flaring to. So you can see that heavy is in the red, and it is being shot in the face by that boom cannon. Let's put a med kit on it. And come over here. Now, the only thing that's bad about the shock launchers is that if they slow your heavies down, if they shock your heavies and slow them down, your Zookas will then walk forward and they might then get hit by other defences. So shock launchers, you just have to as I say, 9 times out of 10 they're fine. You can ignore them. The heavies will get pumped. But if your heavies are constantly being shocked and your Zookas are then moving forward, then eventually they will move forward in front of the heavies and they will get targeted, and that's not what you want. So just play it by ear with the shock launchers. Depends on the layout, the base, etc., all that jazz. So if my Wi-Fi will allow me, just having a sip of tea while we wait, guys. So we only lost 3 Zookas there. Oh, for goodness sake, what is going on here? We got a nice crystal. I do absolutely 100% apologise for this chaos, guys. I'm going to put this video out there anyway, despite the fact that it's a bit of a chaotic one. So again, I do apologise for that. I hope you do bear with me. Right, so here we go, Dr. Cheese Stage 7. Let's just jump into it. That rocket should only be hitting my heavies. Let's put one barrage there. One barrage there. There we go. That mortar right there could potentially be lethal for our Zookas, so we'll just get rid of that as well. And that's another thing, guys. I know new players to this game will start off with not much gunboat energy before you have a chance to build it up, but don't be afraid to use as much of your gunboat energy as you feel comfortable doing before you actually throw out your troops. Right, let's go over here. Okay, you see how I'm... There we go, guys. Throw a med kit on those heavies there. They're getting a little bit beaten up by those flamethrowers. Let's just put a shock on all of this. We'll just put a smoke over those Zookas for the time being. Oh, whoops, I think the mortar got us, but anyway, doesn't matter because we've done it. So there we go, guys. That is the basics guide, how to use the bread and butter troop combo of Boom Beach, the Hooker, affectionately known. That's what we call Heavy and Zookas. So we only lost 8 heavies there, 7 Zookas, 2 medics and 2 cryos. So not too shabby by any means. And as I say, just as long as you've got your heavies out there in front protecting your Zookas, you should do just fine. There we go. So that's Dr. T Volcano for tomorrow, Wednesday. Oh, pardon me, guys. I just burped there. Apologies. For Wednesday, the 3rd of April. I'm going to go now because this video has already been longer than I wanted it to and a bit shambolic. As I say, apologies again for the chaos, the interruptions, the Wi-Fi problems, which I've no idea why they're happening. And guys, Warships, 10th of April. If you're not excited yet, start getting excited. Hype up the excitement. Hype, hype, hype. And don't forget, guys, keep booming, and I'll see you in the next one. Snuggles is out. Bye.